So you won't make a take give you or something?
Oh yes, please.
Okay, all right. I'll let you
on
have
Monday.
it.
On Monday, please.
Don't worry, I'll let you have it by tomorrow.
But Ghana month is fast approaching.
Yeah.
Just I think next week we should be in Ghana month. So I hope we're going to be seeing more of this type of design. Who made this?
His name is Minister's Clothing. He's in Kumasi for me, sir.
Yeah. Oh, he's far away from us, but this is exceptional. But I hope you're well.
Well, I'm good. I'm doing great.
Some football to look forward to.
Yeah, lots this weekend. Manchester United looking up to picking their first trophy of the season against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. There's also local football, Kotoko Ediana, and then a couple of other things to look at.
Amazing stuff. Well, Kelvin, over to you.
Good morning and welcome to Sunrise Sports on 3FM 92.7. My name is Kelvin Owusu-Antan. Let's begin from the round of 16 matches of the MTN FA Cup, where Dreams FC were playing against Liberty Professionals on Saturday. On Sunday, Cape Coast with serious draws against Kotoko Royals, Legon Cities against Volta, Rangers FC, Panda Heart of Lions against Kai FC. In the other games, Ken Faisal against Steadfast FC, RT against Samatex, Nswachaman against the BB United, and the biggest game of the weekend is Ediana FC against Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Well, joining me on the line to speak about this, Coach Ebenezer Sifa. Hello, Coach Eben.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on 3FM 92.7. It's a big game this weekend and the biggest of the MTN FA Cup round of matches. What sort of game should we expect between these two? Unfortunately, we've lost Coach Eben there on the line. Let's move on to some other stories that will be coming up. Well, the Ghana Football Association has confirmed the first batch of football boots for the GPL and Division 1 clubs to be taking delivery in the next couple of days. A statement by the GFA Association revealed that the GFA has received the first batch of the boots and will be distributed to the various clubs in due course. Philip Sicho has shared his thoughts on this particular one from the Ghana Football Association.
Quite funny that in 2023, a football association will provide football boots for professional football clubs at the Premier level and the Division 1 level. It's quite funny. What that means, again, if that's a...
Well, Sicho will need to hold on as we go on the lines and speak to Coach Ebenezer Sifa. Hello, Coach Eben. Hello? Yeah, Coach, thanks for joining us. Sorry for the earlier hitches. Tough game between Asante Kotoko and Ediana. What sort of game should we expect and who is winning?
Well, let me say good morning to your listeners and say that it's going to be a tough one. The fact is that Ediana is on top of the Ghana Premier League. But this is an FA Cup where I believe FA Cup are played without tactics, system, or whatever. But I believe that you have to manage to win. That is why their slogan says, Ediana Obia. Ediana is playing at Doma. Of course, that's their favorite home ground. Between them and Kumasi Asante Kotoko during the Bedford Premier League game, which they won. Ediana, on top of the league, are strong. Currently, they are the best team in the Ghana League. And this is an FA Cup where Kumasi Asante Kotoko, I understand, have injury situations, the likes of Enoch Morrison, the like of Steve Mukwala couldn't train yesterday. Though he may be part of the team, George Infege is also not feeling well. Rashid Note is supposed to see a doctor this morning. For Ediana, you don't have any injury situation or any farm. But I think that it's definitely going to be a tough one. The league game that we witnessed today on Sunday with the Ghana coming to Accra to play Accra House of Folk, winning the game by 2-0, so the performance of them. Probably are going to maintain the same setup, the likes of Joseph Ado, Godfred Waki, Drisu, Shaibu. We talk of Anochi Bedu and Alexa Boache, Aton Frempon. We talk of Elvis Opoku, and of course Isaac Minta, who scored brace, Richard Danso, and of course Samadans, and then the leading man, Kevin Obin. This is probably going to be the lineup of Ediana, and it tells you that they are really, really going to be very strong. Probably going to use the flanks as how Ediana play Sam Adams, and then of course Richard Dan. So in midfield, they have a pivot person that is a player of I don't know, former Kumasi Asante Kotoko player. But coming to the Kotoko setup, I will not be surprised if I see Kotoko playing the 3-back. I mean, I'm talking about Andre Sato, Sharif Mohammed, and of course Mohammed Alassane, former House of Folk centre back. A wing back, Augustine Japan, and of course Nicolas Osebo. So that they play two pivots in front of the 3-back. That is Richard Bouaziaga as the captain, and Sharif Mohammed. And of course, they have Rashid Note, who is not really fit. And then, of course, Richmond Lante, George Ipini, and probably Steve Makola. So for me, it's definitely going to be a tight one. But I want to look at it from this angle where the two bench will vary their game. It's never going to be easy. Kumasi Asante Kotoko on any venue in this country goes in very tough because of their numbers. And again, based on what they've done in the league, I mean, look at their away performance and, of course, their home record. No team has been able to go there to win. So for me, it's definitely going to be a tough one. And I think that at the end of the day, Diana stands as favorites in winning this game. But hey, this is Kumasi Asante Kotoko. You cannot take anything away from them.
All right, thank you so much, Coach Ebenezer Sifa. We look up to a very tight game this weekend.
You're welcome. So
that was Coach Ebenezer Sifa there. He has given us a lot of explanation and an insight into the big game coming up in the MTN FA Cup round of 16. Aduana FC against Asante Kotoko on Sunday in Doma. Now, back to our earlier story where the GFA have assigned the boots that has arrived for the Ghana Premier League and Division 1 clubs. Well, they expected to start distribution in due course. Philip Sicho shares his thoughts on this particular gesture by the Football Association.
Quite funny that in 2023, a football association will provide football boots for professional football clubs at the Premier level and the Division 1 level. It's quite funny. What that means again, that if that's it's a relief for football clubs at that level, Premier League level and Division 1 level. That in itself tells us how terrible our football is and how terrible our football team owners have run their business, because in 2023, that should be basic. That shouldn't be any duty or whatsoever of the Football Association. So yeah, I've seen people go about it and be happy as though it's an achievement that the Football FA. It's actually sad that in 2023 an association has to intervene, or it really is relieving for the clubs to provide football boots for Division 1 Premier League clubs. I'm not one of those who think it's an achievement of any sort.
So that is from Philip Sicho. He, however, does not blame the GFA president, who is only fulfilling his campaign promise back in 2019.
However, others have also raised the conversation that it was a campaign promise by the current GFA president. So if that was a campaign promise, then of course he had to honor it. So in honoring the campaign promise, it came in his third year. Again, that in itself also tells us how far back our football is. Because if somebody could promise that in his campaign, and providing football boots for Premier League clubs and Division 1 clubs could win the person some votes, then that is incredibly staggering, really. That in this time of the world, that could be a campaign promise.
So that is from Philip Sicho. However, sports journalist Ohene Brenya believes that women football and coast football should have rather been the ideal beneficiaries of the boots, which is being shared by the Football Association.
Giving a football boot will not make the impact that you want the policy to achieve. But, imagine giving this boot to a female footballer playing the women's top flight. That will make an impact, because how much are they paid? How much do they earn? And we expect them to, buy their own, football boots, or club owners are expected to buy these boots for these girls. That is making a meaningful impact in the career of a female player. Or imagine these boots are sent to the grassroots level where, giving them boots is fine, it's superficial. And I've said this, it solves no real problem. It just, makes people feel good that they are fulfilling, a campaign promise, a promise that was made in their manifesto. But if you ask me, this solves absolutely no, it cures no mischief, as a matter of fact. If we want to make real impact with this policy, boots should be given to coast footballers, kids playing football, and also women's football, players in the women's, top flight division or Division 1, then you're making a real impact. But for a professional player in 2023, give him a pair of boots, I'm sorry, it makes no difference.
There's no difference in that. Now moving on, Abdul Hayati has revealed that Christian Atsu had committed his first FC Porto salary to the church, which was beside the Cheetah FC training facility when he started playing top flight football in Portugal.
I remember when Christian went to Porto and succeeded in the trials. Porto were to pay him 800 euros a month. I was there when Christian actually sent me at Western Union, and I received 800 euros. When I received 800 euros from Western Union, I was so happy. I was thinking Christian have sent me money. His call followed up and he said the 800 euros that he sent, the equivalent of the 800 euros is going to be this in CD, and he wants me to take the money and give the money to the church.
So that is it there from Christian Atsu's former manager Abdul Hayati. Now a mural of Christian Atsu has been done at the Audu Isaka Park in Tema Community 20. Kingsley Kofi, therefore, the artist shares what inspired him to put up that mural.
Of him to honor him, because he has made us happy before in World Cup time. He scored a goal. There was a goal he scored. I was really, really happy. He scored a goal on the touch line, that line to the corner. He just kicked the ball from that line straight into the pool. And it was amazing. I was like, whoa, this guy. And then ever since they stopped fixing him in games, in the Ghanaian games, I was a bit confused, but Ghana, this is how it works. So I put a post.
So that is what inspired Kofi Defo to put up that mural for Christian Atsu. Now moving on to the Europa League, and Manchester United still remain in contention in 4 competitions this season: the Premier League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup and Europa League, after defeating Barcelona 2-1 at the Old Trafford to qualify for 3 on aggregate in the Europa League playoff round. A Robert Lewandowski penalty gave the Blaugrana the lead, but Brazilians Fred and Anthony struck twice to send Xavi's men packing. Erik ten Hag after the game.
Yeah, it's starting with the idea football is 11-11, and we attacking with 11, we defended 11, but it's more than that. It's about a squad. In the squad you need different types, different profiles. Yeah, when your time is there, you have to be ready, and you come on and you contribute to the team, and the understanding that you have to do it together, and you can't win trophies with 11 in the team, especially not in nowadays football. You need that squad to rotation, but definitely all tactic to bring dynamics in the game.
That is from Erik ten Hag there. Now some other results. Nantes were defeated 3-0 by Juventus. Juventus qualified 4-1 on aggregate, while Midtjylland lost 4-0 at home to Sporting Lisbon, a 5-1 aggregate for Sporting Lisbon. Bayer Leverkusen travelled to beat Monaco 3-2, and the game ended 5-0 after Monaco defeated them 2-1 in Spain. 5-3 on penalties, Leverkusen qualified. Now PSV 2, Sevilla 0, but Sevilla qualified with a 3-2 aggregate. Rennes defeated Shakhtar 2-1, 3-3 on aggregate, but a 5-4 penalty victory. Shakhtar have qualified to the next round, and AS Roma defeated Salzburg 2-0 to qualify on a 2-1 aggregate. Mohamed Kudus once again was on target for his club Ajax Amsterdam, but they are not going to travel any further in European club football after they were thrashed 3-1 by Union Berlin. The first leg ended goalless at the Johan Cruyff Arena. So the 16 teams in the UEFA Europa League round of 16: Arsenal, Betis, Sevilla, Fenerbahce. There is also that is Ferencváros. There is Bayer Leverkusen. There is Juventus. There is Feyenoord. There is Manchester United. There is Shakhtar. There is Sporting Lisbon, AS Roma, Union Berlin. There is Sevilla, and then a host of others waiting for that particular one. Now moving on to the Carabao Cup finalists on Sunday, as Manchester United face Newcastle United. But in the other game, in the top line in the Premier League, Leicester City will be playing against Arsenal, and Brendan Rodgers has been sharing his thoughts on that particular game.
Then it really shows you the quality of the squad that they had. But I think Zinchenko and Jesus coming in really would have helped in giving that mindset. Saliba coming in at the back, and obviously the other players then improving. So no, I think that they played very well on that day. Whenever we got close to them, we made mistakes, which gave them a cushion in the game. But you could see in that early part of the season that there was a good feeling around the place, and
So that is from Brendan Rodgers in the CAF Champions League. Al Merrikh play against Sierra Belouizdad, Cottonsburg against Al Hilal, Wydad Athletic Club against Petro Atletico, JS Kabylie against Vita Club, Vipers against Simba SC, Esperance Sportive de Tunis against Zamalek, Mamelodi Sundowns against Al Ali, and Raja Club de Casablanca playing against Horoya. These are the games coming up. Sergio Ramos has confirmed his retirement from international football after a call from his country's new manager, Luis de la Fuente. The 36-year-old is the most capped with 180 games. Well, now moving on, Croatia defender Dejan Lovren has also announced his retirement from international football 14 years after making his debut for his country. He was part of Croatia's team that managed to get to the final of the 2018 World Cup, losing 4-2 to France in the final in Moscow. Now, blocking clubs from joining a breakaway European Super League will be among the powers held by English football's new independent regulator. Minister for Sport Stuart Andrew has been explaining the reason why they've taken this step.
You know, when you hear fans like Blackpool, for example, talking about how they had to boycott their own club for 5 years because of the way it was being run, you realise that whilst there's lots to be absolutely celebrating about English football, and we do, because people love it, not just in this country but all over the world, problems that need addressing. Now, we would have hoped that football would have addressed that themselves, but they haven't, and so we are taking on board those recommendations in that fan-led review and hoping to, you know, by the introduction of an independent regulator, bring about confidence in the whole of the football pyramid. So the primary function of the independent regulator will be, first of all, to make sure that the people that are running those clubs pass a fit and proper persons test, that they have the right finance in place and the good financial planning to secure the stability of the club, and also to make sure that the whole of the pyramid is stable, but that also this fan engagement is a major part of the work that those clubs do, because
a major part of the work that the clubs do. Now, former FA chairman David Bernstein says it's very vital to protecting and sustaining English football.
Who actually said to me at one stage, I'm going to strip the stadium away from the club. I don't really care about the club. I want the it was a dreadful thing to hear. And we need to do everything we can to sort of stop those abuses. I think a regulator, independent, strong, properly supported by legislation, should be capable of doing that.
So wrapping it up, very sad news. Legendary commentator John Motson, who had an illustrious 50-year career with the BBC, has died after getting agent 77. Well, Motson covered 10 World Cups, 10 European Championships, and 29 FA Cup finals for BBC Sport before retiring from the organization in 2018. For those of you who have been following Match of the Day in the Premier League for BBC, he had worked on Match of the Day since 1971 until 2018. Even 2020 made an appearance. May his soul continue to rest in perfect peace. So, for those of us who are inspired by commentary, John Motson has left the football family. My name is Kelvin Owusu-Antah. That's how we wrap it all up this morning on Sunrise was on 3FM 92.7. Don't forget, the 4th of March is the Gobe Festival. 3FM Gobe Festival. Everything Gobe. Helen has a new combination. She's going to let you enjoy it. So you don't need to miss this. You don't have to miss this.
Kelvin.
Yes, dear.
When we opened up the phone lines yesterday to hear about some of the combinations, people said the gobe, they even have snails inside, gobe and snails. And I think that one sounds delicious. Gobe with sausage. That one, we've seen it.
I think that one is normal.
It's normal.
You put some kinky on the side.
Yes, I also have gobe with the kinky.
Soakings, and then you have the beans on the side.
Oh, Kelvin, you're taking it too far.
I'm not taking it too far.
What do you mean you have some soakings on the side? So you have some soakings here, and then gobe kakra.
Hey,
I think on 4th of March we have to make some provision for those.
Gobe pizza and all that. You haven't eaten that before.
Kelvin.
Gobe cupcake.
Thank you for giving us a spot this morning.
Helen, you don't know all this.
On Saturday, 4th March, we're going to see things we've never seen before. But Kelvin, again, thank you so much for that.
It's a pleasure.
Of course, on Monday, sports will be back on 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Don't forget, on Sunday, we wrap everything up for you at 6 p.m. So join myself, the rest of the team, Marie Kwampo, for Thierry Nyan, Bill Lishan, and then we feed you up with everything that happened over the weekend. Kotoko playing against Aduana, and also Manchester United hoping to win their first trophy. They've been in scintillating form under Eric Ten Hag. So we expect
absolutely. Yesterday's match was one to watch for sure. They've been on top form.
It was
good stuff.
crazy, I think.
So on Sunday, 6 p.m.
Yeah, Sunday. Yeah.
Amazing stuff. All right. Well, you're still live here on 3.